Good evening. Nice to see everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Strange times. But as long as you are healthy, that's good. That's great. Yeah. Happy mind and healthy body, then it's great. So, I think this pandemic, I remember last night when one time there was a locust attack in Ladakh. And it's like, locust is just like spread all over the ground and mountains and everywhere. And we've seen like in Africa, in India, Pakistan. I'm sure it must be in America too sometimes. And Tsok Rinpoche said, locust attack is karmic debt because they eat all the farms and the food that we human being eats as well as other animals. So it wipes out all those harvests. Rinpoche said that's really a karmic debt. And I also thought this pandemic is like a karmic debt, collective karmic debt. And of course, not everyone's get coronavirus. A lot of people got, in fact, a lot of people died. But not everyone get. So overall, it has created lots of hardship for so many people. People lost their life, families lost their loved ones, individual, lot of challenges economically, health-wise, in many ways. Even on a spiritual level, we cannot meet everyone. We need to have people vaccinated or keep distance, this and that. So all this is a suffering. I mean, it's not something pleasurable thing or something that we take it easy. This is definitely, so much cautious you have to be when you put a gas in the car or whatever you do. It's a debt. It's a karmic debt. And we can imagine how much karma we have as an individual, how much karma we as an individual we accumulate in our lifetime. In 24-hour, karma is accumulated. The three root causes how we accumulate karma are the three poisons, ignorance being the main cause of all, and then aggression. Through aggression, how much action we manifest every day through our body, speech, and mind. And through desire and attachment, how much we create karmic, so much negative karma we create every day. And then the rest of all affliction, jealousy, envy, this and that. But overall, a sense of greed, whether it's a corporate greed on a larger scale or then on a lower scale, like an individual greed, it all adds up. How we consume this earth, how we consume the water, how we consume the environment. We have no respect for the trees or, environment and degradation and all this thing. So that's how we create karmic debt. The consumption in a negative way, cause and effect, basically, another word for cause and effect is consumption. Cause and effect. It is consuming. That's what cause and effect is. You can see cause and effect in many different dimensions. But really, cause and effect is consumption. And when we consume things more than necessary, or when we disrespect our environment, just put in general, then naturally that's create very negative situation, which is called karmic debt. So, on a subtle level, karmic debt can happen, karmic debt of place, karmic debt of food, karmic debt of many, many things, like certain bacteria who is causing a particular harm to us is also karmic debt. Because that bacteria is only harming you, not necessarily other people. So that who is either is a flesh-eating bacteria or whatever, maybe some flu or some this or that, but consuming that person, because we have also consumed that being, and of course it's totally frivolous in one way. Nothing bad can happen with pure intention and pure conduct. But bad things can happen with impure intention of not respecting our environment, degradation, and harming others, and greed, as I said, on a larger scale, corporate greed, on a smaller scale, individual greed. All these things adds up and what's called as karmic debt. Collective debt, like the debt of the United States, for example, or any other country, collective debt or individual debt. As long as you don't pay the debt, they won't let you rest. You don't pay your tax to IRS, IRS is going to come knock at your door all the time. Or you borrow some money from somebody else, until you pay back that, they don't let you stay peacefully too. You got to pay back. And this pandemic is a collective debt, I feel, of the whole world population. It's happening all over the world. And the only way how we can purify, yes, we talk about vaccine, which is great, and there are some people take it, some people don't take. Of course, it's their choice, but at least it seems to help. But then we don't know, does that really purify our karmic debt of coronavirus? I don't know. That's another question. Maybe that vaccine is good for something. Maybe at some point there could be something else happening. It's possible. But at least you live. That's the basic logic of that. But as long as one of the things is, long as we live with the stain of debt in our mind, in our body, so long as we will go through some level of suffering always, whether this suffering or that suffering will always come. So if we have to eradicate our body, speech, and mind, which is the three principal main thing of our life, body, speech, and mind, the three doors, that how we communicate to ourselves and how we communicate with the world. If we have to purify this, we have to purify all afflictions, and we have to purify ignorance, and we have to purify. That is the root cause of everything. As long as we live in three afflictions, as long as our mind is permeated in ignorance, the ignorance permeates all our affliction, whether it's aggression, whether it's greed, whether it's jealousy, envy, hatred, you name it, all affliction is permeated with ignorance, otherwise it wouldn't be affliction. The reason is affliction because it's permeated with ignorance. So therefore, why bodhicitta mind becomes so precious? As Shantideva says, the most precious mind is the mind of bodhicitta, which comprises the two kinds of bodhicitta, what we call relative compassion and absolute compassion. These two, the most precious thing to heal and purify our body, speech, and mind. It's the only thing which can purify our body, speech, and mind. No affliction can purify and heal and transcend from this. We can only transcend by purifying the affliction and ignorance. As long as we are bounded by this affliction and ignorance, we will always create karma. We will always create, whether it's good karma or bad karma. Why? Because of the dualistic deception, the deception of duality. In order to understand the deception of duality, is one has to in order to understand the deception of duality, one has to understand the subtle our dreams. For example, right now things are so strong experience for us, so it's a little bit hard for us to relate how is this duality. But in our dream we can understand. Even in our dream we don't think it's we don't remember, or we don't understand, or we don't see that as our own dream. We think there is somebody else outside there, houses, people, conversation, everything happening. But when you wake up, nothing did happen. It's all in your mind. That's how dualism is powerful and how deceptive it is. And then when you're going through the dream, you are crying and you are burning in fire or swept by the water, or you are in a beautiful garden or palace, whatever the experience is, it seems very real. You have as much as a reality what's happening in that dream versus now, no difference at all, 100%. You see the fire, your fear is as 100% being fear of being burned by the fire in your dream, as well as in our wake-up state. But actually, wake-up state is called the gross habitual phenomena, and the dream state is called the subtle habitual phenomena. That's the only difference. But we don't see that. That's the power of duality. So when we wake up, we say, oh, that is just a dream. Don't worry. It's, you have woke up now. You're free of nightmare. Don't worry about it. We say that. So you see this, then on the subtle level, how that can happen. That's the power of duality. So therefore, in order to purify our duality and ignorance, is the absolute bodhicitta and relative bodhicitta. That's why so much focus is put in the Buddha Dharma about mind. Buddha Dharma tries to see what is the causes of all these things happening in our life. Our suffering, our joy, our pain, our highs, where things are happening, how they are happening, and how to counter-react directly to our causes of our suffering, which are called as afflictions, and the root cause, ignorance. So much focus is put onto how to recognize ignorance, how to recognize affliction. Work with that, and then the result will naturally come. So anyway, just talking about this pandemic. This pandemic is karmic debt, and the debt will carry on. In the mountain retreat teaching, of Dzogchen teaching of His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche, in that His Holiness explained, as long as the hope and fear exists, there will be no end to obstacles. As long as there is hope, as long as there is fear, always there will be some kind of obstacles will come. Hope for the good and fear of the bad. Struggle, that thing. And of course, that is on a higher level. And at least, in time to time, we're trying to, transcend from that state of mind during our, Thursday meditation, on a lower scale, like through shamatha meditation. Then greatly, then on the Dzogchen level, then one try to transcend from that. But, at the moment, should we just be careless? The teaching says hope and fear is bad. And definitely it's not good. There's no question about that. But if you are not ready to have that level of realization, and then if you become disrespect, cause and effect, karma, then that's also not correct. You got to respect karma. You have to respect, that's what a compassionate person, a genuine person, trying to create an environment which is harmonious, not just trying to be a rowdy practitioner. But when you realize that level of awareness, it's a whole different state, transcending hope and fear. But until that, you need to incorporate skillfully, not too tight. As Padmasambhava said, my view is bigger than the sky, but my respect for the action is minute as a flower. Meaning, you don't disrespect, the view is just like absolutely is emptiness, is transcended, so I don't care, good or bad, they're all same. That shouldn't be that. We need to be more aware and, be careful like that. So anyway, bodhicitta mind, my point is, what we need is bodhicitta mind, and then practice of bodhicitta mind is essential for the well-being as an individual and well-being of the world. So thank you. That's what I want to say. And then let's do the Tsok now. Omnoze namda raje lundu pe tashi chojo shingna shupayi sanje chuda gindu pape so kunla chaze dacha tashi shu deme gyabo selten dundu gong chempe gempe kata padam kunla gongba jachira raba je lumbu darba zalda baldan Simje damje lagung dabebe yizam zeba zerava dabel Tenzam debe dashi bebe we devara shekpa gyala chazel Jambe jono balden durje ze jere siwang gumbo jambe Sayi nyingbo diba nambra ze namgi nyingbo pacho gunduz Ube duje begara lushin da nubu dawa rildi nimai. Chaze lignam dashi pelki cho chanju sempa gyala chazal. Rinjin dujo dashi sirgi nya dujo pumza yung kamal. Nyenda dunda punzo pepe u minu gyase wanjuru kolod. Rinjin dajo yegi chatenje chodu gyawa chujin giyema. Kesong o tempe pepe we trashi lamo gyala chazal. Sangpa chimbo dejung seme bu mikdo dendan gyalpo yulgur. Pake podan luwa mingmi zang namde sede laze kolod. Tisho ladan dungtung dorje zin pewang ralti chuten gesen. Sasum neso gele trashi pe jite gyongwa gyala chazal. Daja tingdire chawa tsumpa la geta nyewar sewa kunjin. Dede pepe samde yishin drup trashi dele pusum tso parashu. Say it in English.
Page 1. Om, in the natural, spontaneously present, perfectly pure, phenomenal existence, to all who dwell in the auspicious realms of the 10 directions, the Buddha's Dharma, and the assemblies of the Noble Sangha, I prostrate and pray that all may be auspicious for myself and all others. To Drume, Gyalpo, Tselten, Dundrup, Gong, Jambe, Gempel, Gedrak, Pel, Dampa, Kunla, Gongpa, Gyachir, Drakpel, Chen, Thunpo, Tarpak, Teldrak, Pel, and Ni. Noble ones known for your consideration of all sentient beings, noble ones known for your superior display of enlightened activities that grant mental satisfaction. Merely hearing your names increases all glory and auspiciousness. I prostrate to the 8 Sugatas, to the youthful Manjushri, the glorious Vajra holder, the powerful Avalokiteshvara, the noble protector Maitreya, Sayi Ningpo, Dripa, Namparcel, Namkai Ningpo, the supreme noble Kuntu Zangpo, Udpel Dorje, Pekar, Lushing, and Norbo Dawa Reldri Nima, holders of the excellent hand emblems of supreme noble good fortune, I prostrate to the 8 Bodhisattvas, the supreme jeweled umbrella, the auspicious golden fish, the wish-fulfilling vase, the mind-pleasing Kamala flower, the conch of fame and glory, the fully endowed endless knot, the eternal victory banner, the all-powerful wheel, you who hold these 8 supreme precious signs, offered to the conquerors of all directions and times, attractive maidens of pleasure, to recall your nature increases all that is noble. I prostrate to the 8 goddesses of good fortune. Tsangpa Chenpo, Dejung Seime U, Mik Tong Din and Gyalpo Yu Kor Sung, Pake Pu and Luang Mik Mi Sang, Nam Tu Se and Latse Korlo, holders of the trident, short spear, and vajra, vina, sword, stupa, and banner of victory, who make auspiciousness and positivity grow in the 3 realms, I prostrate to the 8 guardians of the world, concerning the activity that myself and others are about to begin, by pacifying all obstructions and unwanted harm. May the noble and meaningful increase, and all wishes be accomplished. May good fortune, happiness, and prosperity be fully endowed.
Urge yuki nubjansam, Pema ki saradong bola, Ya zen jogi ngutubni, Pema jung ne jesuta, Kordu kanjo mang pekor, Kiki jesu dadruki, Jingi lob chiri shek susu, Guru pe ma si di hung, Urge yuki nob chansam, Pe ma ke sara dong bola, Ya zen jogi ngutubni, Pe ma jung ne jesu ta, Kordu kanjo mang pekot, Kiki jesu dadruki, Jingi lob chiri shek susu, Guru pe ma si di hung, Urge yuki nob jansam, Pe ma ke sara dong bola, Ya zen jogi ngutubni, Pe ma jung ne jesu ta, Kordu kanjo mang pekor, Kiki jesu dadruki, Jingi lob chiri shek susu, Guru pe ma si di hung.
Hung, at Oregon's northwestern frontier, on the stem and corona of a lotus flower, wondrous supreme accomplishment attained, and as a lotus born renowned, encircled by a retinue of many dakinis, so that I may become like you, please come and grant your blessings. Guru Pema Siddhi Hung.
So go to straight to page 69 now, Katak Choku. Okay? The actual practice. Kata Choku Pema Tsepa Me, Long Chu Zoku Pema Kuntu Jang, Du Pe Kungu Soke Dorje La, So Wa Deb So Da Gu Chingi Lo, Yang Jen Tu Pa Yi She So Ge Ma, Long E Da Tu Si Nu Ge Pa, Kyab Da Jambe De Be Ni Ma La, sowa deb so da gyu jingi lo je lao ka ba gyur me nge de wang ri ge kyab da du jom ro du ling ka ti sum den za we la ma la sowa deb so da gyu jingi lo de tara sowa da pe chi lab ki min che wang to tam zi nam pra ta rim ni lam le nyin rup tar chin te ku zang pe ma ka re ku to sho.
Original purity, Dharmakaya Padma, limitless longevity, Sambhogakaya Padma, holder of all, essential face of Nirmanakaya, lake-born Vajra Lord, as I pray to you, please transform my mind. Emanation of Saraswati, Mother Yeshe Tsokyel, Zilnun Gebetzel, who deciphered the symbols in the fivefold inner expanse, Lord of Refuge, Jambel Dewe Nima, as I pray to you, please transform my mind. Gyurme Ngedung Wangpo, destined to receive the blessings. Dujum Drodo Lingpa, refuge embodying the 100 families. Root Guru, so kind in the 3 ways. As I pray to you, please transform my mind. By the blessing of praying in this way, the maturing empowerments are received with Samaya Pristine. On the path of the 2 stages, perfecting the approach and accomplishment, may I attain the body of the lotus-born total goodness.
Hong Ri Dong Ngo Bo Chu, make the fire. Pe Ma Jung, Kyab Ne Kun Du Ngo Bo Ro Kyab Su Chi. Si Diri Lo Bo Ro Chu Pe Dro Wa. Open the windows. Si Diri Lo Bo Ro Chu Pe Dro Wa Kun. Chu Pa Rang Sang Ka Ta Long Zhu Sho. Ri dong o bo so ki pe ma jung kyab ne kun du ngo bo ro kyab su chi si dire lo bo ro chu pe jo wa kun chu pa rang sang ka ta long zhu sho ri dong o bo so ki pe ma jung kyab ne kun du ngo bo ro kyab su chi si dire lu bo ro chu pe jo wa kun chu pa rang sang ka ta long zhu sho.
Hung, awareness, emptiness, the essence is the lake-born lotus guru. I take refuge in the essence, the gathering of all sources of refuge. For all beings temporarily deluded by this transitory existence, may delusion purify itself and unravel in the expanse of original purity.
Okay. Ram yam kama a hung ho sarva buddha agar khaya za sarva bine balingdaka sarva buddha agar khaya za sarva bine balingdaka sarva buddha agar khaya za sarva bine balingdaka Hung ma ri zung zin churu pe jung po nam Dor ma di kire ta che ngang tu teng Ra ri yi she po gyuru me pe ngang Korsum yi zhe ngang tu sam che tum sumane hong girane pane hung ani ho bhagavan beran za hung pet tum sumane hong girane pane hung ani ho bhagavan beran za sumane hong girane pane hung ani ho bhagavan beran za ya hung pet benzara gyana rakya
Whom negative forces, unaware and deluded by duality, take this torma and go to the state beyond extremes. The unchangeable state of self-aware primal knowing is the boundary of protection that is primordially liberated from the three spheres of delusion.
Hongde jepe ma ki we shin kam ne kusum lundu so ke dor je chang ne dire chimpo cho tu ngu drup su Chhoje kun zang ru pe gen du gyur Omang baza guru pe ma tu rin zil bajar samaya za abhishaya Sarva punja mega samo hum sheta
Whom, from the blissful pure realm of the spiraling lotus, naturally self-accomplished three bodies, lake-born Vajra holder, please bless this place and grant the supreme and ordinary siddhis. May these offerings become the ornament of the display of total goodness. Om Ahum Benza Guru Bema Tujring Sel Benza Samaya Ja Avishaya Om Sarva Puja Miga Samu Hum Rita.
Arang lu thame ne pe dun karu urgin ti me dana ko she so Ding za ye la ge din chu kang we u su rin chi pe don da ge ding gyab ne kun du urgin dor je chang Sempe pe para so ge yum danti cha ye dor je yum pe tu pum nam tar tar rin che ru pe gen gi se long na de chin zi jin bar khor tu cha sum gya zo tin tra te che la tu je char be da la si gyar ku ngo bo chi me yi che kur dong sho ta pe te cha ta tu se lu ta long chu tu sum ge we so kun zang chu pe jin tu ming ne bu Thom ne sa dik do ma lu sha se che gyalwa kun ki yun ten ki kyab da chik pu gom pu nam tara la nying ne yi rang te pe sol deb shing zab ge chu ki char chin be parakul Rang shen ge we ngo po kun dom ne ro kam gya so chi si ne ki par gom po kyu ki nam tra je nyek te ka gyab do wa de pe dun du ngo gyab ne kun du ken se ter chen po Teng'i nying me kyab chi Rinpoche Nga du gu pe nar jing dung shu ki Sol de pu la tse we nyor tu si Gong pe long ne tuk je sal chung la Me den da ki nying la jing ki lop Ta tang tse ma nyur tu ten pa tang Cho tang tu mu ngu drup zal tu su Ngur yin yu ge nam jang sama pe ma ke sar tung po la yin se chok ngu drup nye pe ma shu na shi su ta kur to kan do mo pe kuru ki ki jas Ching ge lop je shi su sol guru pe ma si di hung
Ah, before me in my ordinary form is Oregon's stainless Danakosha Lake, its profound depths filled with the water of 8 qualities. In its center, atop a jeweled stem of a lotus, petals unfurled, is the Oregon Vajra holder, in whom all sources of refuge converge. Brilliant with the splendor of the major and minor marks, he is embracing Chhoje, the mother consort. He holds a Vajra in his right hand, a vase within his skull cup in his left. Exquisite in their silks and ornaments of jewels and bone, within a vast expanse of 5-colored light they blaze in the awesome splendor of great bliss. Oceans of the 3 roots gather like clouds as their retinue. They gaze upon me, bringing down a shower of blessing and compassion. To the embodiment of deathless primal awareness, the essence of all victorious ones, I forever offer prostrations of faith with intense and powerful yearning. My body, wealth, and enjoyment, and all virtue gathered throughout the 3 times, all these I offer in the manner of Samantabhadra's vast clouds of offerings. I confess without exception all negative actions and failings accumulated throughout time without beginning. Sole sovereign of all qualities, of the victorious ones and their heirs, enlightened protector, in your example of perfect liberation, I rejoice from my heart. To you I pray with faith, beseeching you to bring down a great rain of profound and vast Dharma. Amassing all virtuous qualities of my own and others, I will, for as long as the countless ocean of beings endures, follow the example of your perfect liberation, enlightened protector. I dedicate all this to the guidance of beings throughout space, great wellspring of wisdom and love, in whom all sources of refuge converge, sole precious refuge in these evil dregs of time. I am afflicted by the spread of the 5 degenerations, and pray to you with great longing. Quickly look with love upon your child. Bring forth the manifest energy of compassion from the expanse of your realization. Grant your blessings to my devoted heart. Swiftly show signs and indications, and pray bestow the supreme and ordinary siddhis. Found on page 96.
Did you find? Everyone find the text? Hong Urgin Yuki Nubjanza, Bema Gezer Dombola, Yenzen Chugi Ngudubni, Bema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mob, Kiki Jesuda, Dubi Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Bema Sidi Hong Urgin Yuki. Bema Gezer Dombola, Yenzen Chugi Ngudubni, Bema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mob, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Bema Sidi Hong Urgin Yuki Nubjanza, Bema Gezer Yenzen Chugi Ngudubni, Bema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mob, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Bema Sidi Hong Urgin Yuki Nubjanza, Bema Gezer Yenzen Chugi Ngudubni, Bema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mob, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Bema Sidi Hong Urgin Yuki Nubjanza, Bema Gezer Yenzen Chugi Ngudubni, Bema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mob, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Bema Sidi Hong Urgin Yuki Nubjanza, Bema Gezer Yenzen Chugi Ngudubni, Bema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mob, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Bema Sidi Hong Urgin Yuki Nubjanza, Bema Gezer Yenzen Chugi Ngudubni, Bema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mob, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Bema Sidi Hong Urgin Yuki Nubjanza, Bema Gezer Yenzen Chugi Ngudubni, Bema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mob, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Bema Sidi Hong Urgin Yuki Nubjanza, Bema Gezer Yenzen Chugi Ngudubni, Bema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mob, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Bema Sidi Hong Urgin Yuki Nubjanza, Bema Gezer Yenzen Chugi Ngudubni, Bema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mob, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Bema Sidi Hong Urgin Yuki Nubjanza, Bema Gezer Yenzen Chugi Ngudubni, Bema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Kiki Jesuda, Dubi Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Bema Sidi Hong Urgin Yuki Nubjanza, Pema Kisar Dumbola, Yenzen Chuki Ngudubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondoma. Kiki Jesuda, Dubi Chingi, Lobje Shizu, Solunguru, Pema City, Hung, Urgin Yukin. Pema Kisar Dumbola, Yenzen Chuki Ngudubni, Pema June Kurdo Kondoma, Guru, Kiki Jesuda, Dubi Chingi, Lobje Shizu. Guru Pema City, Hung, Urgin Yukin, Nubjansa, Pema Kisar Dumbola, Yenzen Chuki. Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingi Lubji. Guru Pema Sidi Hung, Urye Yugi, Nubjansa, Pema Kisar Dumbola, Yizin Chugi. Pema June Jesuda. Dumbola, Yizin Chugi, Ngutubni, Pema June. Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingi Lubji Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi. Hung Urye Yugi, Nubjansa, Pema Kisar Dumbola, Yizin Chugi, Ngutubni, Pema June. Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingi Lubji Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi. Hung Urye Yugi, Nubjansa, Pema Kisar Dumbola, Yizin Chugi, Ngutubni, Pema June. Kurdo Kondo Mampe Guru, Kiki Jesuda, Dubi Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi. Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar Dumbola, Yinzen Chugi Ngutubni, Pema Junesh. Kurdo Kondo Mampe Guru, Kiki Jesuda, Dubi Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi. Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar Dumbola, Yinzen Chugi Ngutubni. Pema Junesh Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mampe Guru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda, Dupi Chingi Lobje Shizu. Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda, Dubi Chingi Lobje Shizu. Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingi Lobje Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung, Urye Yugi Nubjansa, Pema Kisar. Yenze Chugi Ngutubni, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Jesu da to be chingy lobby shizo solun guru pema city hung would get you can of Johnson, pema kisser. Yenze joge ngutub nye, pema june shizo da, kurdo kondo mampe kuru kigi Jesu da. Chingy lobby shizo sol guru pema city hung would get you can of Johnson, pema kisser, dombola, yenze joge ngut. Pema june shizo da, kurdo kondo mampe kuru kigi Jesu da, to be chingy lobby. Guru Pema Sidi Hung Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza Pema Gizardon Bola Yeze Jugim Pema June Jizuda Kurdo Kondo Mambe Guru Kigi Jesuda Dubji Chingi Lubi Guru Pema Sidi Hung Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza Pema Gizardon Bola Yeze Jugim Pema June Jizuda Kurdo Kondo Mambe Guru Kigi Jesuda Dubji Chingi Lubi Guru Pema Sidi Hung Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza Pema Kesar Dombola Yinze Chugi Pema June Jesuda Kurdo Kondo Mambe Guru Kigi Jesuda Dubi Chingi Lubje Shizo Sol Guru Pema Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza Pema Kesar Dombola Yinze Chugi Ngudubnye Pema June Jesuda Kurdo Kondo Mambe Guru Kigi Jesuda Dubi Chingi Lubje Shizo Sol Guru Pema Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenzen Chugi Ngudubnye, Pema Junesis, Kurdo Kondo Mangpe Guru, Kigi Jesu Da, Dubi Chingi Lubje Shisu Sul, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenzen Chugi, Pema Junesis Da, Kurdo Kondo Mangpe Guru, Kigi Jesu Da, Dubi Chingi Lubje Shisu Sul, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenzen Chugi Ngud, Pema Jungne Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambe Guru, Kigi Jesuda, Dubi Chingi Lubjish, Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenzen Chugi Ngud, Pema Jungne Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambe Guru, Kigi Jesuda, Dubi Chingi Lubjish, Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenzen Chugi Ngud, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambe Guru, Kigi Jesuda, Dubi Chingi Lubjish, Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenzen Chugi, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambe Guru, Kigi Jesuda, Dubi Chingi Lubjish, Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenzen Chugi, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mampe Guru, Kigi Jesuda, Dubi Chingi Lubje Shizu Sulu, Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenzen Chugi Ngudubnye, Pema June Kurdo Kondo Mampe Guru, Kigi Jesuda, Dubi Chingi Lubje Shizu, Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenzen Chugi Ngudubnye, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mampe Guru, Kigi Jesuda, Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza, Pema Kesar Yenzen Chugi Ngudubnye, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mampe Guru, Kigi Jesuda, Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urge Yugi Nubjanza, Pema Kesar Yenzen Chugi Ngudubnye, Pema June Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mampe Guru, Kigi Jesuda, Chingi Lubje Shizu Sul, Guru Pema Sidi Hung. Om Bziguri Pema Sidi Hung, 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 Om Bziguri Pema
This is
Sidi
the
Hung,
Vajra Guru mantra,
Om Bziguri Pema
page
Sidi Hung, Om Bziguri
99.
Pema Sidi Hung, Om Bziguri 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 Pema Sidi Hung. Light the candles for the Vajrasattva. Om Bziguri Pema Sidi Hung, 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 Umam Buzaguri Pamasidum, Umam Buzaguri Pamsidum, 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 Umam Buzaguri Umam Buzaguri Pamsidum, Umam Buzaguri Pamsidum, Umam Buzaguri Pamsidum, Umam Buzaguri Pamsidum. Okay, now let's go to the confession.
Page 86.
Shido Dambu Sanje Kundu San Durje Semba Durje Tijin Shi Pao Chimbo Jowa Kyupe Egu Dala Sergon Yishi Jingis Dune Maki Yene Namda Kyang Chunguro Lopro Sharwe Kundole Mari Sunzi Kena Nyamchaku Tachi Chui Yumge Longdo Benzara Sanwe Tapo Dorje Tamjapa Kuso Tosa Sama Yabumki Tamle Nyamshin Sigle Garwakang Rabdu Nonji Göpe Tolosha Sato Nyamba Kyundu Gyurpe Tudene Legi Nize Dorje Kanroyi Kai chepa tapu gyur pe dichi dip gyuru yengyu shasa onde pe gyarpo yene dorje che miksu meje nyamda shapa te kundo sangpo yezo rikpe lo dute me pa chui long tu a.
Om, the first foundation, is the Buddha, total goodness. Vajrasattva is the Vajra, thus gone one. Great hero, protector of beings, think lovingly of me and look upon me with your eyes of primal knowing. Ah, primordially unborn, completely pure from the very beginning, and yet from conceptualization that incidentally arises in the phase of delusion, all degenerations that are the circumstantial appearance of dualistic unawareness, I confess within the great purity of the inner expanse of the five mothers of the fundamental space of reality. Vajra, Lord of secrets, renowned Vajraband, of the hundreds of thousands of secret samayas of body, speech, and mind, whatever has damaged the bond or violated the commitment, with intense remorse and regret, I disclose and confess. Sattva, the time when faults become degenerations has passed, becoming extreme breaches of the injunction of the Vajra Dakinis who oversee conduct, and after that becoming obscurations which accumulate the causes for the great hell. These I confess. Hum, primordial king, great, original great Vajra, without point of reference, beyond degeneration and confession, total goodness, intrinsic space of awareness, complete from the beginning, within the fundamental space of reality, beyond union and separation. Ah.
So confession is very important, you know. Confession is, for example, in our day-to-day life, like in our own family, let's say, or our colleagues or friends or whatever. When we do something wrong, when we do something wrong against somebody else, the other person has a higher moral ground. You know, whether we have kicked them or hurt them or whatever. So then we say, sorry, I'm very sorry. And that's important in this world, to move forward without, expressing your regret for your negative action. Then you could have no healing it happen in whether in friends or family or whatever in our society. Same thing. This is basically when we do the confession to the Buddha's Vajrasattva, or then basically to on the spiritual level, we're directly working with our afflictions. The afflictions are the root cause of all our suffering. As long as we don't recognize the culprit of this affliction, that we don't address this and work with this to purify this, then affliction will keep growing on and on and on. And at some point, you won't even be able to handle all your afflictions and obscuration. Therefore, they are called obscuration. Afflictions builds up habits, and that habit is called obscuration. There is no other obscuration beside than that. So therefore, whether we create obscuration through our body, through our speech, by slandering, lying, deception, whatever, and through our mental state of like engaging in neurotic thought. And just like basically even like in karma, for example, it says 3 ways of great karma: a good karma, a bad karma, a negative karma. A good karma, a negative karma, neutral karma. So neutral karma, we may think, oh, neutral karma wouldn't create karma because it's kind of neutral, such as like when you get up, or when you're daydreaming, when you go to a coffee shop, when you take a walk with your dog or by yourself, whatever. You're kind of like deep into subtle subconscious gossip. You are lingering around. The seed of attachment, the seed of aggression, seed of all those things is cooking underneath, undercurrent. So even in the neutral ground doesn't fall towards positive side. Neutral ground falls towards negative sides, because underneath subconscious gossip, it's cooking. In English word, maybe it's the right word. It's cooking. Things happening all the time. So therefore, mind is as long as therefore when we call afflictions, all afflictions permeates ignorance, because that is engaging in those duality, engaging into those afflictions. So it's creating karma, mental karma. And that builds up obscuration, and that gives the suffering. That's where the suffering and confusion come in. Therefore, when we do the confession, like for example, traditionally, full moon is the time to do confession. Those who have taken monastic vows, monks and nuns, or Vajrayana practitioner, yogis and yoginis, should do confession. When you look at your, Patimoksha discipline, Hinayana, or Bodhisattva vows, how much, every day, how much we miss Bodhicitta mind. Then in the Vajrayana practice. Then basically, when all those obscuration begin to build up, and you don't pay attention, you don't care about it, you're going to build up more. And then if you build up more obscuration, more confusion and suffering will happen in this life, and needless to say, in the next life, after you leave this body, then you will take a birth. Maybe you will take some animals' realm, some creatures, then tremendous suffering, the nature of samsara. Therefore, like in our world, we say sorry to someone. It's important to recognize one's own affliction. Of course, Buddha doesn't, by saying sorry to Buddha mind is transcended. It's just like, doesn't really matter, in other words. But what it matters is you. What it matters, you who is trying to get rid of your obscurations and your affliction. You need to grow. And you cannot grow if you pile up obscurations in your. That's the whole point. It's nothing to do with the Buddhas. Buddhas, is not the, in Buddhism, it's not like in the Old Testament, the God is angry God. It's in this basic goodness in everyone. As I earlier explained about the dream, how duality is a deception. So in fact, ultimately, when you realize Buddha nature, your basic goodness, you transcended the whole thing. But as long as you don't transcend, you need to respect cause and effect. You need to be careful of that. So therefore, it's important to, if you have missed your bodhicitta, you confess. If you see something, you did some harm to your partner, your friend, family, you said, I'm very sorry, what happened, And then there's air is clean, and then you can have happiness in your family life or in your relationships or whatever. But if you don't do that, it's just going to stagnate, and at some point it will explode, and then at that time the ego gets so built up, and I think word like narcissist and many things like that happens when your negative habit is so strong you couldn't see yourself at all. You see, then it's dangerous, very dangerous. So therefore, it's important to do the Vajrasattva of all the, of course, bodhicitta mind is also the mind of purification. When you have compassion, it does purify. But you need to work it out. You need to recognize. And you need to move forward by recognizing not to repeat that again. It doesn't mean that you say confession and then you move forward and again do it. Then it just keeps building up. It says there is no good quality in negative karma. There's only one good quality, in that it can be purified. Nothing is there which cannot be purified. If you're willing and if you work to do that, there's nothing which cannot be purified. Everything is purified. So therefore, it is important for us to spiritually, here, on the one level, of course, you can also say your relationship with your world is also spiritual, because it really matters your happiness and how you deal with that. Actually, nothing, you cannot really say this is my secular life, this is my spiritual life, because it's a phenomena that your mind relates to. They're not really two. But let's say it's two. Yes, in my worldly life, I say sorry to my friend or partner, whatever, if it hurts, then you can have a good relationship. Then on a spiritual level, you're looking deeper into your mind. Oh, why my spiritual level is not growing? Why my shamatha is not peaceful? Why my vipassana is not growing? Why my noble... Because of obscuration. They're the main obscuration. There is no other obstacle beside that. That's the main obstacle. So obstacle created by your inner afflictions. For that to remove, that confession is very important. So that's it. I just want to say that, okay? Om Vedrzodo, did we say that in English? Yeah, did. Om Vedrzodo Samaya, Manopalaya, Vedrzodo Denopa, Tirodo Mebawa, Sudokaya Mebawa, Subokaya.
Page 100.
Anordo Mebawa,
in the middle,
Sarvasidim
the second
Meprayat,
prayer.
Sarva Karmasajame, Chitam Shiriyam Kuruhum, ha ha ha. Sarvatata Benzermami Munza Benzerba, Ma Samaya Satu, Om Benzersodo Samaya, Manopalaya, Benzersodo. Tirodo Mebawa, Sudokaya Mebawa, Subokaya Mebawa, Anordo Mebawa, Sarvasidim Meprayat, Sarva Karmas. Chitam Shiriyam Kuruhum, ha 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 ha, Bhagavan Savatata Benzermami. Mahasamaya Satu Om Benzersodo Samaya Manupalaya Benzersodo Tirodo Mebawa Sudokaya Mebawa Subokaya Mebawa Anurudo Mebawa Sarvasidim Sarva Karmasajame Sitam Shiriyam Kuruhung Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Benzer Mahasamaya Satu Om Benzersodo Samaya Manupalaya Benzersodo Tenopa Tirodo Sudokaya Mebawa, Subokaya Mebawa, Anurudo Mebawa, Sarvasidim Meprayat, Sarva Karmas. Sitam Shiriyam Kuruhung, ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, Savatata Benzer Mamim. Mahasamaya Satu, Om Benzer Sado Samaya, Manupalaya, Benzer Sado. Tirodo Mebawa, Sudokaya Mebawa, Subokaya Mebawa, Anurudo Mebawa, Sarvasidim. Sarva Karmasajame, Chitam Shiriyam, Kuruhung, ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, Savatata. Benzerma Mimunza Benzerba, Mahasamaya Satu, Om Benzer Sado Samaya, Manupalaya, Benzer Sado. Tirodo Mebawa, Sudokaya Mebawa, Subokaya Mebawa, Anurudo Mebawa, Sarvasidim. Sarva Karmasajame, Chitam Shiriyam, Kuruhung, ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, Savatata. Benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupalaya benzer sodo Tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba supo khaye me baba anurudo me baba sarva siddhim Sarva karma sujame sitam shiriyam kuruhung ha 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 ho bhagavan Sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupal benzer sodo teno pa tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba supo khaye me baba anurudo Sarva siddhim me prayatsa sarva karma sujame sitam shiriyam kuruhung ha 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 ho Sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupal benzer sodo teno pa tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba subo khaye me Anurdo me baba sarva siddhi me prayatsa sarva karma sujame sitam shiriyam kuruhung ha ho Sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupal benzer sodo teno pa tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba subo khaye me Anurdo me baba sarva siddhi me prayatsa sarva karma sujame sitam shiriyam kuruhung ha ha ho Sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupal benzer sodo teno pa tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba subo khaye me Anurdo me baba sarva siddhi me prayatsa sarva karma sujame sitam shiriyam kuruhung ha Sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupal benzer sodo teno pa tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba subo khaye me baba anurdo sarva siddhi me prayatsa sarva karma sujame siddham shiriyam kuruhung ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupal benzer sodo teno pa tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba subo khaye me baba anurdo sarva siddhi me prayatsa sarva karma sujame siddham shiriyam kuruhung ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupala benzer sodo teno pa tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba subo khaye me baba anurdo Sarva siddhi me prayatsa sarva karma sujame siddham shiriyam kuruhung ha 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 ho Sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupal benzer sodo teno pa tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba subo khaye me baba anurdo me baba sarva siddhi sarva karma sujame siddham shiriyam kuruhung ha 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 ho Sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupalaya benzer sodo tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba subo khaye me baba anurdo me baba sarva siddhi me prayatsa sarva karma sujame siddham shiriyam kuru ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu sujame siddham shiriyam kuruhung ha sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupalaya benzer sodo tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba subo khaye me baba anurdo me baba sarva siddhim sarva karma sujame siddham shiriyam kuruhung ha 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 om bhagavan sarva tathagata benzer mame munja ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupalaya benzer sodo tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba subo khaye me baba anurdo me baba sarva siddhim sarva karma sujame siddham shiriyam kuruhung ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupal benzer sodo teno pa tiro me baba sudo khaye me baba subo khaye me baba anurdo sarva siddhi me prayatsa sarva karma sujame siddham shiriyam kuruhung ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata benzer mame munja benzer ba ma samaya sa tu a om benzer sodo samaya manupal Manupal. Metrasudo Denapa, Tiro Mebaba, Sudoke Mebaba, Suboke Mebaba, Anurdum. Sarvasirim Meprayasa Sarvakar, Masism, Shiriam, Kurung, Ha, Sarvatagata, Benzer Mami, Munjabirba, Mahasamaya Satu, Om Metrasudo Samaya Manupal. Metrasudo Denapa, Tiro Mebaba, Sudoke Mebaba, Suboke Mebaba, Anurdum. Sarvasirim Meprayasa Sarvakar, Masism, Shiriam, Kurung, Ha, Sarvatagata, Benzer Mami, Munjabirba, Mahasamaya Satu, Om Metrasudo Samaya Manupal. Metrasudo Denapa, Tiro Mebaba, Sudoke Mebaba, Suboke. Anurdo Mebaba, Sarvasirim Meprayasa Sarvakar, Masism, Shiriam, Kurung, Ha, Sarvatagata, Benzer Mami, Munjabirba, Mahasamaya Satu, Om Metrasudo Samaya Manupalaya, Benzer Tiro Mebaba, Sudoke Mebaba, Suboke Mebaba, Anurdo Mebaba, Sarvasirim Meprayasa Sarvakar, Siddham Shiriyam Kuruhung Ha Bhagavan Sabat Benzer Mami Munjabirba Mahasamaya Satu Okay, Tsok page
Page 79.
Hungale Chuyin Tanyam Kapalara Om Le Nasi Duyun So Susham Hongi Deji Yi Shiru Paraguru Shi Yi Sa Sum La So Ge Pakang Om A Hung Shi Om A Hung Shi Om A Hung Shi Hung Urgi. Okay.
Hum, from Ah, a skull cup equal to the fundamental space of reality. From Om, the sense pleasures of appearance and possibility arranged within as the gathering feast. With Hum become the play of primal knowing great bliss. With Hri, the hosts of three roots devatas are delighted and fulfilled. Om Ah Hung Hri, Om Ah Hung Hri, Om Ah Hung Hri.
Urge Yuki no Jansam Pema Kesara Dong Bola Ya Zin Chogi Ngudubni Pema Jung Ne Jesuta Kordu Kandro Mang Pekor Kiki Jesu Daduki De yun so la jin na jingi lob jiri shek su su ne cho di ru jin po la so ju yi shi du jiri gyur rub cho da la wan shi gur Getan long de parchesum Chodan tu mong drupzu Hung lama jesu bema tu jingze Rizin kandru sodan che bayi Sasum kundu gewe kim koroda Muku dung shu tapu so wade Dashin gosum gezo long chu che Nang si du yun ge gu ma zang me Kunzang de chin soki koloro bul Tu se ge shi tu tam gong gyuru chi So wa dev so guru rinpoche Jingi lob shi rik zi kan dre zo Mede pula choti ngudrupse tamsi nyamcha tamche changtu chanchu partu delme jezinshin se se nyam to yarngu dashin pele Sampalungi Duparachingilo.
Page 79 at the bottom. Hung, at Oregon's northwestern frontier, on the stem and corona of a lotus flower, wondrous, supreme accomplishment attained, and as the lotus-born renowned, encircled by a retinue of many dakinis, so that I may become like you, I invite you to this feast of sense pleasures. Please come and grant your blessings. Send down your blessings to this excellent place, and transform the feast offerings into the elixir of primal knowing. Bestow the four empowerments on me, the one who aspires to supreme accomplishment. Dispel obstacles, hindrances, and those who lead us astray. Grant the supreme and ordinary siddhis. Hung, noble Guru Pema Tujengzel, together with your hosts of awareness holders and dakinis, to this mandala of victorious ones embodying all the three roots devatas, I pray with devotion and intense yearning. My three doors, gathered virtue, enjoyments, wealth, and those of others, appearance and possibility, delightful sense pleasures with nothing incomplete, all this I offer as the great bliss, Gana Chakra of total goodness, supreme bliss. Lovingly accept this with delight. May it fulfill our sacred bond. I beseech you, Guru Rinpoche, grant your blessings, hosts of awareness holders and dakinis. Grant the supreme and ordinary spiritual accomplishments to your devoted child. Please purify all degenerations and breaches of Samaya. Liberate outer, inner, and secret obstacles in fundamental space. Until my enlightenment, hold me inseparable. Increase longevity, merit, meditative experiences, and realization like the waxing moon. Grant blessings for the natural self-accomplishment of wishes. Om Ah Hum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hum.
Tsok offering now.
Page 89.
Ram Yam Kam Om Ahum Yingi Benda Rikpe Sotoro Sham Dundu Jazere Tigle Duyuta Ngusara Sami Kape Tamsik Di Rangri Zawa Sumki Laso La Nimi Nyampe Ngangdu Chopa Bul Tokpe Jazuru Tigle Jimburu Sha Zungzin Dragi Kimi Yingsu Jol Tunang Shito Sepe Tile Jup Lundu Nangshi Yishe Tarchinde Koda Shunu Pumkuru Chanchu Sho Ram Yam Kam Om Ahum Yingi Benda Rikpe Sotoro Sham Dundu Jazere Tigle Doyunta Ngosara Sami Kape Tamsik Di Rangri Zawa Sumki Laso La Nimi Nyampe Ngangdu Chopa Bul Tokpe Tazuru Tigle Chimpro Sha Zungzin Dragi Kimi Yingsu Jul Tunang Shito Sepe Tile Jul Lundu Nangshi Yishe Tarchine Kata Shunu Pumkuru Chanchu. Page 89. Ram Yam Kam Om Ahum Yingi Benda Rikpe Sotoro Sham Dundu Jazere Tigle Duyunta Ngosara Sami Kape Tamsik Di Rangri Zawa Sumki Laso La Nimi Nyampe Ngangdu Chopa Bul Tokpe Tazuru Tigle Chimpuro Sha Zungzin Dragi Kimi Yingsu Jul Tunang Shito Sepe Tile Jup Lundu Nangshi Yishe Tarchine Kata Shunu Pumkuru Chanchu Sho. English. Ram Yam Kam Ahum.
Within the skull cup of fundamental space, the ritual offerings of awareness are arrayed. The 6 lamps, rainbow rays, and spheres of light are the glittering, desirable qualities. This is the wondrous, inconceivable Samaya. To the self-aware Devata assembly of the 3 roots, the offerings are offered in the state of non-dual equanimity. The pointy edges of thoughts are confessed within the great sphere. Enemies and obstructors, the grasper and the grasped, are liberated in unborn fundamental space. Deluded appearance awakens in the basis and accomplishes the enlightened activities, perfecting the primal knowing of the naturally self-accomplished 4 visions. May I awaken in the youthful vase body, original purity.
Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Tsasum Laso La. De Long Tsok Bul. Tamsi Nyamcha Tamche Sha. Nyomong Drake Shaltu Tap. Tele Rabjam Lundrup Zo. Soni Nyurzo Ngurup. Gana Tsakta Puza Hu. Yam Kam Ah. Guru Tsasum Laso La. De Long Tsok Nyomong Drake Shaltu Tap. Tele Rabjam Lundrup Zo. Soni Nyurzo Ngurup. Gana Tsakta Puza Hu. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Tsasum Laso La. De Long Tsok Tamsi Nyamcha Tamche Sha. Nyomong Drake Shaltu Tap. Tele Rabjam Lundrup Zo. Soni Nyurzo Ngurup. Gana Tsakta Puja Ho.
Ram Yam Kam Ahum. To the Guru and the assembly of the 3 roots devatas, this wealth of sense pleasures is offered as the feast. I confess all deteriorations of Samaya. Neurosis, enemies, and obstructors are offered to the mouths of the devatas. Naturally self-accomplished, vast, enlightened activities. May the 2 accumulations be swiftly completed. Bestow siddhis. Gana Chakra Puja Ho.
Now the mantra on page 91. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeta Balingda Kayi. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeta Balingda Kayi. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeta Balingda Kai. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeta Balingda Kai. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeta Balingda Kai. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeta Balingda Kai. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeta Balingda Kai. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeta Balingda Kai. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeta Balingda Kai. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeta Balingda Kai. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeta Balingda Kai. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeta Balingda Kai. Ram Yam Kam Ahum. Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Tsakta Puja Uzeda Baringda Kai Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Tsasum La So La De Yu Long Chu Chhoje Tamsi Nyamcha Tamche Sha Nyomong Drake Shaltu Tap Tinle Rabjam Lundrup Zo Zonyi Nyurzo Ngudrup Gana Tsakta Puja Ho Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Tsasum La So La De Yu Long Chu Chhoje Tamsi Nyamcha Tamche Sha Nyomong Drake Shaltu Tap Tinle Rabjam Lundrup Zo Zonyi Nyurzo Ngudrup Gana Tsakta Puja Ho. Okay, so go bring. Tsoke chupa gintu Allah la ho. Tusum sanye guru rinpoche, ngurup kunan deva chimpesha, parche kunze du deo chapo tse, sola tibdo chingi labdo solo, china samwe parche ishiwa tang samba dungu rupu. Tusum sanye guru rinpoche, ngurup kunan deva chimpesha, parche kunze du deo chapo tse, sola tibdo chingi. China samwe parche ishiwa tang samba dungu rupu chingi lo, tusum sanye guru rinpoche, ngurup kunan deva parche kunzil de tapoze solwa de chingi labdo sol china samwe parche shiwa dang samba dungu do par simyen gyuluji be ne junze mizi denge ne genye mana yingi tuzum ma baso de urgi mengi de seze maye parche nye baze urgi pema jona la so de samba dungu do par chingi lo simyen gyuluji be mizi denge ne genye mana yingi tuzum ma baso de urgi mengi de yime be seze maye parche Urgen Pema Jonella Soa de Samba Lungu to Berjingelo, Simjin Gulu, Jibene Jinze, Muzidogini. Yingitism Maba Soa de Urgen Mingila da Emepe, Sezema, Parginia Basse, Urgen Pema Jonellas. Samba Lungu to Berjingelo, Simjin Gulu, Jibene Junze, Muzidogin Negimana, Yingitism. Urgen Mingila da Emepe, Sezema, Parginia Basse, Urgen Pema Jonella Soa de Samba Lungu. 심지어 줄루지베네 주지 미즈드응에 내게 뭐다 영의 투즈마 버서와데 우리 gemeng에도 세제마에 버진ye 버지 우리 게 빼마주나로 소와데 삼바 릉규도 버진게로 우예름 보쳐라 소와데 우예름 보쳐라 소와데 가르게 버지 미중식 등게 삼바도 버나 저 투몽으로 버서 Okay. Lakma, please collect lakma after you distribute the tsok. Okay, okay. Please put something on your plate, then enjoy the tsok. 83. Remainders. Omong Bezamirda Hung Hao Ji Erili Shing Shing Za. La de Jig Tin Tek Peso. De Yung A De Lak Turoshi. Pendant Dewe Tinleju Umuzeda Balingda Ka Ye.
Haughty worldly spirits who gather the remainders, please accept this remainder torma endowed with the 5 sense pleasures and perform beneficial and joyous activities. Om Uchita Balingta Kahi.
Tsoki lami kilkurtu, tsoki kolo kurwai. Dajin roa malupa kinkuru chiktu du parashu.
Within the mandala of the lake-born Guru, by turning the wheel of the wisdom feast, may I and all beings without exception be liberated within one mandala. In page 77. First the Vajra Guru mantra on page 99 and then page 77. Laminisum yike dusum le Özre karmar ting sum jungne su Rangi ne sum timpe gosum ki Dib janku sum tuki dor jere gyur Tani lama korche ötu shu Karmar tigle hunki semparu Rangi ninkara timpe lame tu
Ransem yer me lengi chukuru ne.
From the 3 syllables in the Guru's 3 places emerge 3 rays of white, red, and dark blue light. As these are absorbed into my own 3 places, my 3 doors are purified of obscurations and become the Vajras of enlightened body, speech, and mind. Finally, the Guru and his retinue dissolve into light, which becomes a white spear glowing red, marked with Hum. As this is absorbed into my heart, the Guru's mind and mine join inseparably and dwell in Dharmakaya.
Unki me chuku kalong ne, game la ku na we cha, ri me tong se ngang tu tem,
Home, from the inner sky of unborn Dharmakaya, the unobstructed form of the Devata appears and dissolves into emptiness, clarity, free from all direction.
Geza chanchu chimpuro ngo bo rangshin tu je sel, orge lama tsoke je, kusum lungi drupa yi, trashi tampe dele sho.
The roots of merit are dedicated to great awakening. The essence, nature, and compassionate manifest energy are the unsurpassed lake-born Lord of Organ. The spontaneously accomplished 3 bodies. May all be auspicious, sacred, joyous, and excellent.
Tumbaji dengo zu jomba dan temba ni shindu sewa dan tenze punu shindu temba yu ring nepe trashi sho tembe pekyo lame shebe te tenze kibe se ten yu tembe jinda ngatong jurba gi temba yu ring nepe trashi sho nguse uryen chebe chengaru sujin rupar chebe kanzara mayi pujin kyomo shishebe shigyon sungme soge trashi sho chancho kyomo kya che namte se norge dabo aryaz uwa sepe alhamonu yuba nola tuda namge trashi sho nedir nimo dele sen Nedri nimu dele sendele nime kuyang dele shi nginzen tatu dele kyamne kunju sumki trashi sho deng dere neju bada cha pulu yunju kurdan jiba tamjela nimadanda wasada jingi nopale chuba shindu dudan maja midimbe cho tamjela tala shindu trashi bari gyurji zaya suzaya Yes, say that. Auspicious. I think it's the word you have to say. The root of the merit, dedicated. Huh? Yeah, say that. Root of the merit, dedicated.
So please turn to page
84.
We did that one.
We did that?
Yeah.
Then what's the last one, auspicious prayer? You need to read.
Dusum Sangye.
Did you read that in English? Okay,
Yeah,
then that's fine. Dusum Sangye Guru Rinpoche, Ngurup Guna Deva Chimpesha, Parchi Kunzal
This one is
Trabu,
on page
Solwa
95.
China Samwe Parchi Shiva Tang, Samba Lungu to Parchingelo, Dusum Sangye Guru Rinpoche, Ngurup Guna Deva. Parchi Kunzal to Trabu, Solwa de Chingelo to Solo, China Samwe Parchi. Samba lungu to Parchingelo, Tisum Sanye Guru Rinpoche, Ngurup Guna Devaj. Parche Kunsul de Trapoze, Sola de Chingel to Sol, China somewhere Parchishim. Samba lungu to Parchingelo, Tisum Sanye Guru Rinpoche, Ngurup Guna Devaj. Parche kunsildu chaboze, solo adabzo chingi labdo solo. China samwe parche shiwa. Samba hlungi dobra chingi lo, tuzum sanje guru rinpoche ngudub guna deba. Parche kunsildu chaboze, solo adabzo chingi labdo solo. China samwe parche shiwa. Samba hlungi dobra chingi lo. Uye rinpoche la sowa deb garkien parche mi jungshing. Tunge samba drupa tang, chodang tumo ngudub sedusu uye rinpoche la sowa. Garkien parche mi jungshing, tunge samba drupa tang, chodang tumo ngudub sedusu. Uye rinpoche la sowa deb garkien parche mi jungshing, tunge samba drupa tang, chodang tumo ngudub saldusu. Zamning chitang yulkam di tatu nemo sunso dungal mingmita chuden sunam padrukundu tatu trashi dele punzo zamning chitang yulkam di tatu nemo sunso dungal chuden sunam padrukundu be tatu trashi dele punzo zamning chitang yulkam di tatu nemo sunso dungal mingmita chuden sunam padrukundu be tatu trashi dele punzo in the world in general and in this nation. May not even the names, disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtuous qualities and merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise. In the world in general and in this nation, may not even the names, disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtuous qualities and merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise. In the world in general and in this nation, may not even the names, disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtuous qualities and merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise. By this merit, may all beings gain omniscience, thus defeat the neuroses which are the enemies, from the turbulent waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death.
From the ocean of cyclic existence, may all beings be liberated.
Kenlo chusum ringlu chi zamning sasum kyaparape tuyu chosu now. Mide tusum gele sho kenlo chusum ringlu chi zamning sasum kyap. Tuyu chosum nawata mide tusum gele sho kenlo chusum ringlu chi zamning sasum kyap. Tuyu chosum nawata mide tusum gele sho. In translation.
May the great tradition of the Bodhisattva Abbot, the Vajra Master, and the Dharma King pervade and flourish through the three realms of this world. May the experiences of all beings never be separate from the three jewels, and may there be virtue and excellence throughout the three times. Page 51. Om Svasti.
Let's do Soksir Muchis.
So page 50 on the bottom.
Kuzang tuki tempe juzin chi niktu shetu gyalse lurze pa palde lam kalgyara shabte ni dunyi lundu tashi palbara shu. Kuzang tuki tempe juzin chi niktu shetu gyalse lurze palde lama kalgyara shabte ni dunyi lundu tashi palbara shu. Kunsan tuki tempe jezin chi niktu shetu gyase lurse palde lama kalgira shabte dunyi lundu tashi palbara shu lama kukam zangla sowa tep chotu kuse ring sowa tep tinle tarshin gela sowa lama tang dewa mepra chingi lo.
Om Svasti, holding the treasury of the teachings of Samantabhadra's heart, raising the victory banner of study and practice amidst this time of degeneration. Glorious Guru, may your feet remain firm, and may the two purposes be naturally accomplished and auspiciousness increase. Om Svasti, the indestructible self-born essence of Amitayas, primordially uncharacterized by either birth or death, by the truth of the fundamental purity of phenomenality itself, may the supreme guide of beings, the victorious one, may he live a long life. With the unobstructed creativity of the Vajra clouds of highest ecstasy, expanding through space the skillful dance of Maya Jala, with the truth of the spontaneity of interdependent phenomena, may the supreme guide of beings, the victorious one, may he live a long life. with the fearlessness, wisdom, and kindness which is the power of primordial awareness, the essence of the precise secret teachings of the Vajrayana, the wish-fulfilling jewel. The victorious banner of teaching, practice, and action is raised to the pinnacle. May he live long as he fulfills the aspirations and wishes of living beings, sounding the Dharma as a conch shell trumpet with the auspicious pattern of a right-handed spiral, causing the essence to enter the ears of many beings of the three habitats, above on the surface and below the earth, accomplishing the spread of virtue victoriously in all directions. May this fortunate supreme guide and sovereign live a long life. May the Lama Vidyadhara live for 100 eons, victorious in the war against adverse outer and inner obstacles, spontaneously accomplishing vast intentions of great value to the Dharma and living beings. May this most excellent, auspicious vision pervade forever.
Thank you very much. So just want to briefly, I like to say, we all want happiness. There's no one who doesn't want happiness. And that's what we strive every day to, even for a moment, not even 1 minute, even 1 second, we want happiness. We don't want suffering. But seems like what we want and what's happening in our life is quite contradictory. We end up facing a lot of, situation in life that instead of fulfilling our aspiration to be fully happy and free, we experience a lot of opposite of that. And then at the same time, life is short. Life is really not long. I mean, when I look at myself, where I'm today, I thought very recently I was a teenage. And suddenly today I find myself, wow, I'm now, not that young. In fact, I've crossed the age of, even like middle age is crossing now. So therefore, life is short and it happens so quickly. But in the meantime, we have every day 24 hours. And when we watch how we spend our time, sometimes we seem to waste a lot of time in a not stupid, the English word is not stupid, but stupor mind, I think, stupor, like not knowing what to do, like we are spaced out. It's the spaced out stupor mind, like a zombie, maybe not necessarily zombie, but stupor mind. And so that's a waste of time. And remember earlier I was explaining the neutral karma is a subconscious gossip which is constantly in our mind, chattering, constantly something going on, something chattering. And so then it keeps building our affliction. If the neutral mind has completely not chattering, not engaging in subconscious gossip, which are influenced by our afflictions, the problem is the byproduct of afflictions, those chattering. So if it's byproduct of chattering, logically, then its result is also affliction. If it's caused by affliction, the result is affliction. If it's caused by wisdom, then the result is wisdom. So since the subconscious gossip is caused by affliction, therefore it produces obscuration that we are not aware of. And then what happens? Then suddenly, we have challenges in life situation, whether physically or mentally, and of course between mental challenge and physical challenge, mental challenge is the more powerful. If you're physically not well, if you really meditate well, you can suppress that pain. But mental pain, there's no other way to deal with it except mentally. And we don't know how to deal mentally. We just think, oh, maybe if I go here, take a walk, that will fix. Or maybe I will go and talk with my friend, maybe that will fix. Or if I think this way, it's all like conceptual create conceptual. The problem is, conceptuals are byproduct. You study the mind. It's important we need to study. That's why meditation is so important. Conceptuals are influenced by affliction, fundamental grasping. The fear, the ego is basically, there's a notion of fear. Without fear, there will be no ego. So then the ego creates the fear, and then all kinds of projection, conceptualization is created, which are, as I said, influenced by affliction. And then its result is a lot of confusion and depression and suffering. One doesn't know how to deal with that. And the worst come to worst, people suicide. Or then, you end up going to, taking pills and whatever, people have to deal something, or taking drugs. Those are really not the healthiest thing to do. Alcoholic, become a drug, It's very sad that you have to rely finally, you don't know how to deal with your mind, basically knock yourself out by drinking or knock yourself out by drug. Very, very sad, extremely sad. Actually, it's a pathetic situation in life. If I be blunt, it's a pathetic situation. That's called pathetic. There's no other pathetic. You have amazing mind. You have your mind with tremendous quality, with wisdom, with compassion, and you can bring that out, But we don't, somehow, due to lack of merit, we get attracted to the easy way out, and those are afflictions, always like some deception is involved. So life is short, and then we end up spending so much waste of time, and then we regret, and then later it's too late, and then it's a very sad thing. So please, every day, do Tonglen meditation in the morning. Do keep your awareness, keep awareness how your mind is functioning, basically. There is no other meditation besides than being aware. Awareness is bring the presence of your mind, Meditation means continuity. Continuity of what? Continuity of basic sanity. That's what meditation is. There's no other meditation besides continuity of basic sanity. So like view, meditation, and action. View is the basic sanity. Meditation is the continuity of the basic sanity. And action is the byproduct of it. Right now what's happening, view is ignorance and affliction. We live with ego and all kinds of affliction. Then meditation is the part of the role of the meditation in our life is the dance of afflictions. And the action is chaos. The result is suffering. That's called samsara. You see, it's all in your mind. It's not outside. You can't blame outside. Outside is naive. It's in your mind how you relate, how you see things. Therefore, very, very important to meditate and then keep your awareness. And then slowly, affliction is none other than a habit. Affliction do not have any validity. It has no valid ground. It can fall apart like a sand castle. Therefore, they are impermanent. They are by nature compounded phenomena. They have no inherent existence. Moment you see through that, it just begins to tremble. For example, if you through your awareness, moment you see you're getting angry, oh, this is not good, or some negative habit, this is not good happening, then already is shaken ground. And then it's gradually, if you keep more and more practice, then your positive side, your inner basic goodness will shine more and more. And then that basic goodness, splendor of the basic goodness, will suppress all negativity. You see, and what sometimes we call positive energy, some good energy. We have that inherent quality, but we don't, it's like we leave that dormant. We we leave our positive quality dormant and we engage in all this, like, you know, childish kind of thing, neurosis, affliction, and habits. And therefore, you know, you never get out of the cycle. This is a vicious cycle. It's a cycle without any exit. Can you imagine what happens if you keep circling and you never find your home at like 12 o'clock at night in Denver? You keep, in the morning, then you find yourself, probably your car is ditched somewhere, and then you are knocked out and unconscious like that. That's like what seems to be happening in our life. So therefore, don't do that. It's in your hand. Okay? Thank you very much. Good night. Okay.
Thanks, everybody. I just don't feel like shouting. That's why I'm using the microphone. You're welcome. So, so the plates that we have from Tsok, I'm going to bring out a barrel of river offering. So now this is blessed food. So whatever you don't eat, please dispose of it in that river offering barrel. And the other thing is, there's a whole table full of deliciousness. Please, we're going to bring out some plastic bags. Please take food, share it with your friends. Make sure you eat it, because now that it's blessed and imbued with awareness, it can't be thrown away like normal food. So please do take and eat and enjoy. And Rinpoche will teach on Thursday night, so please come back and enjoy at 7 o'clock on Thursday. Thanks, everybody.